Biohacking, health span, longevity, tips and tricks are meaningless unless they are actively supporting some weak point in your athletic training. Let's talk about that a bit more. Boys, I want to do a quick one. We're back on the topic of the performance, longevity, protocol, whatever you want to call it. I've been thinking about it a lot. Let me give a better summary of what the point of this even really is, okay? Here's my suggestion for those interested in health span, biohacking, longevity. This is from my personal experience and also just from things I've read and seen, etc. I know I don't look very good, but I'm getting better, okay? My suggestion is that those interested in stuff I talked about should first and foremost, and maybe singularly, have the approach of treating yourself as a lifelong athlete who focuses on endurance, strength, speed, power, and then once you've got that first principle, all of the other stuff is much easier to conceptualize, if that makes sense. It is popular in longevity, health span, biohacking to talk about the best diet or the best recovery modalities, supplementation, basically all the stuff that you need to support an athletic lifestyle. But if you don't have athletic training as the core principle, then all this other stuff is totally meaningless. You're supporting nothing, okay? So if I take myself as an example and I say, I want to be a lifelong athlete, I want to be in the best shape of my life in strength, endurance, speed, power, so on and so forth, well into, into my 40s, which is realistic, okay? There's lots of people who peak athletically in their 40s when you take all three categories into account. Once I say that, everything else is an evolutionary process as I become better as an athlete, as I need support in particular areas. So if I am not making the progress I need in my strength training and my nutrition is lacking, then I can focus on nutrition. Or if I'm getting cranky knees from my endurance training, I can do mobility. If I XYZ, throw in the sauna, throw in supplementation, hydration. These little tips and tricks are meaningless without a core tenet of I'm training to be a great athlete well into my older age, okay? And you should be thinking the long-term aspect of this is what makes you think about it in an intelligent manner. You're not going to go in and say, in order to maximize recovery, I'll just eat as much as I possibly can and get fat, because that's not best for long-term athleticism, right? You must think as a long-term athlete, or else these little tips and tricks are just going to confuse you, and they're going to have no place in your system, right? Everything you have needs to support your athletic performance first. That's my suggestion. Peace out.